Hey there, everybody. Tony Garcia, Michigan writer for the Detroit Free Press, joined by writer Sabin, our Big Ten insider, here at Michigan Stadium, where the Wolverines just beat Arkansas State 28-18 in Week 3 to improve to 2-1. Quick apology about the bottles blowing around, such is life. Back to the game. It felt good at first, 28-3, the rushing attack really getting going, 300 yards, but it feels like the story of the day is this quarterback chaos, right, Reiner? 3 turnovers from Davis Warren, 3 interceptions. They pull him, bring in Alex Orji. He does throw a touchdown, but kind of misses a deep, wide open receiver. You kind of see why they're in the limbo that they're in, and kind of why this season doesn't feel the way last did.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback issue is a problem. The passing game is a problem. I mean, if it's not the receivers messing up, it's the quarterback just doing what he needs to do. Pass protection breaking down. Overall, the passing game is just not sufficient. It's really concerning going into Week 4 against USC, the first Big Ten game. I mean, this is probably where the season really hinges this game, and this was just not an inspired performance heading into this game. It's not exactly what they're looking for. Running for 300 yards against a group of 5 team, Sun Belt team, Arkansas State, just not that impressive to me. I mean, it was more trying to correct some of the issues that are systemic, which right now are penalties, turnovers in the passing game, and they haven't corrected those.
No, we'll get to those. The rushing attack was good. It's good to run for 300 yards, 7 yards a pop. However, Central Arkansas did that also in Week 1, I think is the point. So you don't want to overstate like everything is fixed, right? I think that's part of the point. And when the passing game looks like this, Reiner, the quarterbacks combine for 131 yards, all the turnovers, nothing consistent downfield, and then you lose Colston Loveland, who's been by far this team's best offensive weapon through the air. It makes you wonder how limited this game is going to go. Sharon Moore post-game, we just finished speaking up with him a few minutes ago. He would not commit one way or the other if it's going to be Orji, if it's going to be Warren, even if Jack Tuttle will figure back into the mix as he's still rehabbing from some off-season injuries that really threw the quarterback race in flux. And just hard to know what else to think about. But you talked about, I mean, it's not just quarterback, I think, is worth noting the problems. 4 penalties, 3 on the defense that extended drives, 15-yard varieties, roughing the passer, late hit out of bounds, face mask. They have 7 turnovers so far this year. Last year they had 8. Just all the things that they did so well last year, they're not doing.
Yeah, and that comes down to coaching and fundamental execution. And right now they're missing the fundamentals. And if you can't get the fundamentals right, you're not going to get other things right well either. And so I think that this team has some real flaws, and they're concerning flaws. And I don't know if this is something that you can fix in a week. And the problem is that again, time's running out. I mean, they've got to get this stuff in order if they want to salvage the season. Because right now, it just doesn't look like it's heading in the right direction. Following the Texas loss, that was they were just overmatched, and this victory, which again wasn't that great when you look at the scoreboard. And granted, it was 28-3 at one point, but still, I mean, there were still issues that popped up in the game that suggest larger problems going forward.
They do. But we can glass half full this for a moment because there were positive signs. Kalel Mullings, that's a beast. That's a real running back. And if you can eliminate the turnovers in the passing game, right? Like just not give them positive field position, extend drives, throw some bubble screen. I mean, there's room for growth. I mean, this offense, I mean, as they've said every week, has left meat on the bone. I mean, it can be better than this. And then you look at the defense. They said it after the game. The 1s and 2s were exceptional. That first drive, notwithstanding, poor discipline, a couple of 3rd and long conversions. After that, they held Arkansas State to 1 of their next 11 third downs in the meat of the game when it was 28-3. And even when, the only 3 points that they had against the first team defense, they started with the ball in Michigan's red zone, and the defense bowed up right away. So there are positive signs. I think they dialed in. I mean, yes, this is a more limited offense than what they saw, but they did dial some things in on that side of the ball. And if you can start putting those pieces together, I mean, all is not lost, but the margin for error is not great, not big.
Well, it's slim, and it's concerning going to USC because, I mean, again, Lincoln Riley is like Steve Sarkisian. He can scheme you up. They're going to score points. But now USC's got a really good defense with that kind of, a guy that also comes from the Baltimore Ravens tree, Danton Lynn. And, if that defense suppresses this offense, then you're going to fall into the same trap that, Michigan did against Texas. And so, again, this is something that needs to be corrected on offense. I'm not convinced by anything I saw necessarily that was positive, except, again, Khalil Mullins, I think, is by far the number one back. It should be. But all the other things that may have been positive, but I mean, it's not enough to convince me that this offense is back on track or can establish the run against a high-quality team. We don't know that yet. We still haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it's because the passing, I mean, an offense cannot be one-dimensional and truly fully functional. And with Loveland out, I was very high on Samaj Morgan coming into the season. He's left a bit to be desired, not really making people miss after the catch like he did last year in the screen game. Tyler Morris, who did not play today, he was listed as questionable. He's only played 2 games, but 5 catches, 35 yards for the guy who coaches called the alpha in the room. That leaves a bit to be desired. Fred Moore had a good game, 3 catches, 38 yards, but not enough overall. Final thought heading into a big game against USC?
I think we're stretching to find the positives, and that's the problem. I think at this point, we should be able to identify firmly what the positives are with this team. And sure, the running game may have gotten back on track, but again, you have to consider the context. Arkansas State, again, was run on by UCA Central Arkansas in the first game, and so how much can you really take from that? But then you're still also committing the same mistakes that you did against Texas, against a team like Arkansas State. I don't know. It doesn't look good. This does not look anything close to what we saw at all at any point last season. That team was extremely disciplined. They led the nation in turnover margin. They led the nation in penalties per game. That was a well-functioning, well-oiled operation. This is decidedly not an operation that's well-oiled. I'm concerned going into the USC game. I just am.
They did. Especially when you compare it to a group like that, it looks even more stark. But they did everything well last year. This year, still trying to find that identity, the positive that we are searching for. They ran it a little bit better. We'll see if that carries over. Thank you for staying with us. For Reiner, I'm Tony. You can get all of our coverage on freak.com ahead of a big week where Michigan will take on USC here at the Big House at 3:30 on CBS. Thanks for watching.